you could stop believing in accidents today. That is a Wilhelm message that I'm releasing for April the 8th of 2026. It's still April the 7th right now, but this will help me give you the idea that you're not an accident and there is something you're in the world to do, and there's a plan for your life, and there's a plan for all of us. That's something that I couldn't have said a long time ago, but I have to now. And I will give you so much information that will help you to understand that. As we live as humans, we can develop different skills, abilities, and talents, but if we don't use those to help ourselves and others, it doesn't do much good. So I'm going to change today. I started doing automatic writing in 1989, as many of you know, people who have followed me, but I never did anything beyond that in terms of channeling or anything like that. I did a video last week said I was not a regular channel. I did a kind of a live broadcast because um, I had to own that. You have to come to own who you are, and who you are going to become is going to be different than any other soul that's ever lived. And sometimes that might be your greatest challenge. But then also, that could be your greatest gift. Many times we are afraid of ourselves. We're afraid of our gifts. We're afraid of what develops because we don't know what it's going to be. It's always in that unknown of who we could become. And then as civilization changes, new things are developed, new skills, abilities. And I heard some of that in the channeling sessions that I have just heard. I'm saying that because when I started receiving this information, I had no clue that it was energetically connected to the changes happening in our world, to the astrological, astronomical at times changes that were going on, because I've never studied any of that. So it was different. And I didn't know that coming into alignment could cause healing in me. Mind body healing started to occur with this information. Things that I really didn't talk about because I didn't understand it, but we're each supposed to do something that could be new, bring something new to the world, and others may not understand it. So you have to really kind of own yourself. And then we can look at our world now and wonder if something's going wrong or what has happened. Well, see, I was given that information as well, that we were moving through a generational change. And so some of it's going to be really chaotic. And I put up on the blog today, if you go to my website, anyadvicefortoday.com, and you search for the word chaos, you'll be shocked at how much information comes through. Because see, it's been 37 years that I've been doing this. That's how much information I've garnered, but it's only a small portion that's on that site, only from maybe from 2008 onward. But there's so much more. We grow and change in our consciousness, each of us. And consciousness is shaped and formed at different times in various ways. But what turned out was this information I was receiving started using all of our sciences. It was using cognitive behavior training. It was taking into consideration epigenetics because that's a really important part of this aspect of this change that we're moving through currently. But then also neuroscience. How do our brains work? How do we change? How can we start to achieve the goals that we have in our lives? We develop something. And that's why we go for self mastery or self development or personal development, however you think of it. It's all the same thing, and we're all doing it. Every single person is doing it. And the challenge that we have is that it's different than everyone else. But we might compare ourselves. I did that for the longest time. This is why I had to say I was not a regular channeler. And that was something that I had to come to accept because I didn't do things the way everyone else was. I was building a philosophy and writing it down every day. So I was building a blueprint that anyone could follow that could then lead them to who they're meant to become, lead them to their best life, lead them to healing, reconciliation, because that's what we're always doing. We're doing that individually and also collectively. So I'm going to give you this information tonight because I'm sending it out to everyone because I have to change. A lot of people will not Many times we don't like looking at ourselves, and this work requires us to look at inside our dark nights of the soul, or whatever, however you think of it. But it is an ascension guide. It is all of those things, all in one. And it's been shown now to be a basically a blueprint for the new humankind. And there's a piece that I was done called The Framework of Wilhelm, the information they brought through, and you will hear all of that as well. Then there is a premiere, which is why I wanted to send this out, of an interview I did, a podcast a while ago. So it's going to premiere tomorrow. So there's a link there. So I'd love you to hear it. And the fascinating thing about that, and this has happened so many times, and I just have to be completely honest, and I want you to understand, we have different levels of consciousness, each of us. Sometimes we'll access a higher level, sometimes we won't, and we can't expect anyone else to do it but us. And when I'm doing channeling, when I was doing the automatic writing, I'm connected to a different source. To me, it's universal consciousness. That's how I can explain it. And if you, when you listen to the sessions, that will make sense as well, because I typically don't remember. This podcaster that is this one that's being released tomorrow, he tells me that he's done more than 100 episodes, and he says this is the one he's the most excited about. And I didn't remember any of it. So then he sent me a raw copy of it so I could hear it, so I could be prepared. And I was shocked. I, again, didn't remember it. But the information I've received through Wilhelm has all been aligned. That was something else that was surprising. Aligned with energetic changes, which is why I've written all these pieces, and I knew what would be occurring in the world and why many of us would be having a difficult time, as I did. But I brought the guide now, so we don't have to. And I was writing something the other night because years ago, when I started to understand what was happening, I said to people, I can't see anything wrong with you. And that's what happens when you start moving to this other level of consciousness. I, I can look at people and I know you don't have problems. I just know that you don't, because it's just another way that you have to look at yourself and understand what has occurred in your life. And that's all the information I was given. But when I put that out a long time ago, several couple of years ago, I said, I can't see anything wrong with you, because I had to see it in myself first, and that's what happened. But now I can give it to everyone else, which is what we're all meant to do if we become willing to move through all the other layers of ourselves. And it's been 37 years of doing this. So I want you to have this, because I will be making the changes in this. This work can change anyone's life now. I am bringing it to the world. It was meant to give us an ability to change our world. That's why the world looks the way that it does today, because we are the ones who are meant to change it if we can own our authentic selves. I've been hiding from mine for the longest time, so now that's what's changing. I know that you can achieve great success because I've been given the pathway for you to get there, and you'll hear it in all of this information that I'm putting out today. Thank you so much for being here. Please share this with others. And if it's your first time, please subscribe to the channel, ask others to do the same. And I'm grateful for you being here, because your energy is going to help change everything, not only in your life, but in our world. All right. I'll see you soon.